Today we're talking about the brand new 7Artisans 25mm T2.1. Now, in case you missed it, 7Artisans just announced a brand new cinema lens lineup named their Hope Prime cinema lens set. It's got an interesting name, but it does perform really well. I've been really happy with the overall results of at least the 25mm T2.1, which is what we're looking at here today. Obviously, disclaimer on this is the fact that 7Artisans did send me this lens to test out, but as always, they're not requiring I say anything specifically, and so you are going to get my full and honest opinion. And so let's break down what I think about this lens, starting first with the overall image performance. Now, this lens on paper, you can go ahead and say it's a little bit slower of a lens, and honestly, that's going to be true. It is a T2.1. Now, that being said, one thing that's really nice about it is while it is a little bit slower, it is going to perform really well optically. You are going to get limited focus breathing and damn near no chromatic aberration, if any at all. I really was unable to spot the chromatic aberration with this lens, and you are getting a lens that is relatively sharp all the way throughout the frame. And on top of all of that, I really enjoyed the minimum focusing distance of this lens. I was able to get really close to my subject, creating unique compositions. And so while I do wish that for micro four thirds, it was a little bit faster of an aperture, I've been really impressed with the overall image performance of this lens. And so with that, let's go and talk about the build of the lens. Now, this lens is going to be an all metal design like we've seen from other 7Artisans lenses. And one of the big selling points is that the text is going to be very bright and easy to read in ultraviolet lighting. Now, I'm not a huge fan of this branding. I do like the branding of the Spectrum and Vision lineup. And this one was a little bit of a miss for me, but overall, I like the lens. I think it's a good construction. You are gonna have a very long focus throw. I don't know the exact measurement as some of the specs haven't been announced by the time I'm recording this video, but it is a nice long focus throw. The focus ring is gonna be smooth and the aperture ring is gonna be a little bit more dampened, which is a nice ratio. And on top of that, you are getting a 77mm filter thread, and it does come in a plethora of different mounts. I'm using it for micro four thirds, but I will list somewhere on the screen some other mounts that it is available for. Overall, the build of this lens is very sturdy, well constructed, and that's not really a surprise. 7Artisans does a really good job with their overall build and design of their lenses. And so again, it should not be a surprise that I'm really happy with how this lens is constructed. While I'm not a huge fan of the branding as far as the colors that they chose or even the font they chose for some of the text, I think the lens is very well constructed. And so with that, let's talk about who this lens is for. Now, this set of cinema lenses is definitely for those individuals that maybe want to save a little bit more money and not go with the Vision cinema lens lineup, which that lineup does have a faster aperture, but it's almost double the cost of the Hope Prime cinema lens set. And so if you are using an APS-C or micro four thirds camera and you're wanting to save a little bit of money but also get a really good image quality, then I would definitely check out the Hope Prime cinema lens set from 7Artisans, maybe specifically the 25mm T2.1. And so that's it for me. If you do have any questions about this lens, let me know in the comments below or reach out to me on Instagram and we can start a conversation there. As always, thank you for joining. Go and find your journey. Go embrace life. Peace.